Self staring at an email for way too long, unable to decide how to respond, even though you've been making decisions all day long. That's decision fatigue creeping quietly in, just draining your mental energy. Welcome to 5 easy hacks for managers to conquer decision fatigue. I'm Dr. Twanna, and I'm an executive career coach for Black women. I specialize in helping high achieving Black women overcome challenges like decision making fatigue, imposter syndrome, and work life imbalance, right? So, if you're on, let me know if you can hear me. I'm actually in Arizona today. I'm normally in Maryland, and I have a new mic, not necessarily a new mic, but I don't typically wear it when I'm doing this. So, let me know if you can actually hear me. Just drop a one in the comments for me. I don't want to do the whole live and you can't hear me. So do let me know. I unmuted it, so I think we are a go, but I do like to check in. So drop me a comment. And I do want to say welcome to everyone, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And as well, welcome to those of you who are catching the replay. So thank you, Deneen. Deneen says, yes, she can hear me. Yes, I did it right. Thanks for joining, Deneen. I appreciate that. And so, again, we're talking about today, I will be showing you how to beat decision fatigue. And so, tell you how so you can make clear, confident, clear decisions all day long using these 5 easy hacks. Now, these tips are going to really transform the way you lead. So, do stick around. You don't want to miss this. Now, if you've ever felt drained by the endless decisions you have to make every single day, this video is definitely for you. You've probably noticed that there are days by the time you get home after a long day of work, even something as simple as deciding what to have for dinner, it feels like a monumental task, right? Now, this really is overwhelming. This overwhelming mental drain is what we call decision fatigue. It's like all I got to do is really pull that out, heat it up, do this, do that, and you literally cannot seem to make that decision. So trust me, it's not just you. It is a real phenomenon that happens when your energy gets depleted after a long day of making decisions and sometimes a long week of having to make decision after decision. So ideally we want to feel just as energized and capable of making sound decisions at the end of the day, just like we do in the morning time, right? I Yeah, right. Now we also, we want to have clear priorities and the mental stamina to be able to handle both work and professional life without feeling drained and overwhelmed. But let's face it, some days that is not our reality. And then as the day goes on, the more mentally drained you feel, which actually ends up leading to poor decisions, procrastination, or just the inability to decide at all, right? So I recall a time I was in the first Gulf War, and we had everybody in a meeting. The commander, the XO, the executive officer. I was a personnel officer, HR. We had everybody in the room, operations, logistics, and we needed to make a decision of how to move. And it was like the brightest and the smartest was in this room. And after about 45 minutes, collectively, we couldn't make a decision. We just couldn't. Thankfully, our commander had he was already a war veteran. He had fought in the Vietnam War. He just looked around. He looked around and he said, "Okay, stop. Let's. All right, we're not getting anywhere because we are all so drained." So he was like, "And call the meeting, and you need to go to your tent and go to sleep." And I wasn't going to sleep. What I was gonna go and help my soldiers do stuff, but he's like, and it's a direct order. You will go to your tent and you will take a nap. And we came back about 5, 6 hours later, made the decisions. All of us did. And it was no problem. So mental fatigue isn't just a personal thing; it can actually be a collective thing when you've been going without enough rest, without enough sleep, right? So that's why I'm giving you these 5 easy hacks so that you can beat decision fatigue. So, number one, let's get back over to my banner here so you can see that. So, number one is definitely prioritize high value decisions so that you can tackle the most important things early enough, those early tasks early enough in the day when your mental energy is at its peak. Unless, of course, you're one of those persons where your mental energy is at its peak at like between 10 and 1. Some people are. You got to figure out where your energy is, right? Now, not all decisions are created equal. Some do require more mental energy, while others can be pretty much handling quickly or even delegated, right? And so you do start by identifying which decisions are high value and which ones are low priority. Now, if you kind of struggle with figuring out what's a priority because you have so many things all zooming at you at the same time, then you can use the Eisenhower matrix. It's really good to help you prioritize your decisions, right? So, what in the world is the Eisenhower matrix, right? So, the Eisenhower matrix actually helps you by categorizing tasks into 4 different quadrants based on their urgency and the importance of the task. So, the first quadrant that we'll talk about is the tasks that are urgent and they're important, right? Make a decision to do these things first. These are critical tasks. These are your critical tasks, and they typically come with deadlines, right? And so the next quadrant is the things that are important but they're not urgent. These things you want to schedule time for those later on because they do contribute to your long term goals. The third category is urgent but not important. Delegate all of those tasks to your direct reports, right? Sometimes, especially as women, we think we got to do it all for it to be done right. No, we need to be training our direct reports how to do things. And when we make all the decisions for all the things, we really are not training our subordinates. And part of your job as a leader is to train the next generation of leaders. At least that's always been my thought process. You train the next one by delegating and giving them responsibilities and giving them tasks. So your urgent but not important tasks, delegate those, right? Because some folks struggle with what do I delegate? What do I hold on to? There you go. Eisenhower matrix helps you with that as well. And then the fourth category is not urgent and not important. Just eliminate those altogether to free up time. Okay. So, number two, the second hack is limit your choices, right? Do limit those choices. For example, you can streamline your wardrobe, right? Because some people making a decision what to wear is like energy draining first thing in the morning. So you could actually say streamline your wardrobe with the capsule wardrobe. So for those of you who are not familiar with that, a capsule wardrobe is where you buy the clothes based on the interchangeability, where you can mix and match those clothes without a lot of preparation, right? Some folks like me, I like to dress nicely. So I'm all about like pulling off the hanger now. Well, it was a time when I ironed my clothes for the week. I would do that on a Saturday or a Sunday, and I would iron them for the week. That way, when I woke up in the morning time, I didn't have to make a decision. It was like pull it off the hanger. Doesn't matter what you pull because you're gonna wear it every day this week anyway. You got something for each day, all right? Or you can also meal prep for the week so that you're not wasting mental energy on small everyday decisions. Now, I know some of you are like, I get tired of doing this. I don't like doing that. What I often tell my clients to do, especially if you're single or it's only two of you, go ahead and make a casserole. If you're feeling really good about it, make two. That way you can eat one this day, one that day, one that day. And what do you mean eat it? Well, if you're making a casserole, it's normally for like 4 to 6 people. And so you put them in serving sizes, you cut them up in serving sizes. Part of that you freeze. And then if you're one of those people who don't like to eat the same thing every day, then you eat this casserole Monday and that one Tuesday, switch off Wednesday, switch off Thursday. And if you're like me, by the time Friday rolls around, I'm tired of looking at it, then you go out to dinner and you treat yourself for being on task. It works really well. Of course, if you have a family, making a casserole is definitely a no-win situation, from soups to chili to everything is really, you're really able to do that. I'm a single parent, and I will have things that all I have to tell my kids to do is turn on the oven on this, set the timer, put it in there, and then by the time I rolled home, dinner was done. I got to tell you, that was a wonderful thing. Okay. So, because at the end of the day, the fewer decisions you have to make, the more mental energy you'll have for the decisions that really matter, right? And number three, you definitely want to use decision frameworks to help guide your choices quickly and efficiently. And the thing is, if you use a decision framework, you will, if you stick within your constant, you won't necessarily have to like look at it and read it because you train your brain to think that way, right? Decision frameworks do provide structure, and they make the decision making process more efficient, right? And that's all you're looking for, to be more efficient. So whether it's a pros and cons list or a decision matrix or a set of guiding principles, frameworks do help you to evaluate your options quickly and effectively without overthinking. And so if I see a couple people, I see you on, if you have like a decision framework or matrix that you use, drop it in the comments and share it with us. I would love to see what you're using so people can look down there and read those comments. It's like, okay, let me try that one. Because I do love the Eisenhower matrix for figuring out what's important and what's not. Because sometimes, especially as a business owner, things can roll at you furiously and you can have so much on your plate that you do have to use something to prioritize things, right? So, number four, definitely set decision deadlines. Why? Because procrastination is often a result of decision fatigue. When we're overwhelmed by choices, we tend to delay making a decision altogether. It just makes us feel better. I mean, raise your hand if this is you. You have something really important to do, but you can find 1,001 other tasks to do, but the one you really need to do. That's so me. I've seen it. Okay, I need to pack. Oh, you know what? I can clean this closet out now. I can do this and everything but the thing you need to do, right? Because that's when procrastination kicks in. This is like way too many choices, right? So one way to combat this is by setting decision deadlines. Give yourself a time limit. Giving yourself a time limit forces you to make decisions more efficiently without getting caught up in the trap of analysis paralysis, right? I'm an introvert, I'm a deep thinker, so I can look at something and analyze and analyze and analyze. That too causes procrastination, right? I used to spend days deliberating on big business decisions, constantly second guessing myself, like maybe I should, no, maybe I, after a while, I started to realize how much mental energy I was really wasting, and I wasn't coming to a decision anyway. So I started setting these deadlines. For example, you know, if I needed to make a strategic decision, I would give myself 48 hours. 48 hours to gather information and commit to making a choice. This simple hack not only improved my decision making, but it speeded things up and reduced the stress that came with consistently prolonged decision making and analysis paralysis, right? Indecision really does drag you down. So you want to make those decisions as quickly as you possibly can. And now here's another tip. For low impact decisions, go ahead and apply the 2 minute rule. Just 2 minutes. If it's a low impact decision, take 2 minutes and just make the decision. If it's less than 2 minutes, just go ahead and make the call, make the decision immediately versus spending valuable time spending your energy round and round on something that really is not that important. Okay. And number five is just as important as all of the rest of them. Practice self care so that you can recharge your mental energy. A quick break, taking, mindfulness tools. And I have a lot of mindfulness tools that I share with my clients. You can walk. I used to work for HUD and I'd be on this task, and sometimes there'd be a question for the record we had to answer. And we're talking about like 2 weeks on the same problem, which just drives me crazy doing the same thing over and over. And I would just get so frustrated. I would put everything down, lock my computer and go for a walk. I got to tell you, like 3, 4 minutes into the walk, the decision would come. Once you clear it up, give your brain a chance to breathe, you really can find the answers and make better decisions, right? And so a walk can actually do wonders for your brain. And I used to struggle again with decision fatigue because, again, single parent with 3 kids, I was working a full time job for the government, and I had one of my businesses, only had one of my business at that time. So, yeah, that was a lot of decisions and a lot of things to do, right? And so I did make self care a priority. It was non negotiable, right? I had to get sleep because when I don't get enough sleep, I can't make a decision. I literally can't. It's the simplest decisions, but I cannot make a decision when I don't have enough sleep. And when you think about the fact that I'm not saying this is right, let me just preface that first of all. And the United States is not the only government that does this, but governments use sleep deprivation to torture people, right? There's a reason why, because your decision making skills are really, really poor when you don't have enough sleep. So, when you just don't get enough sleep, that's kind of like, sleep deprivation is kind of like torturing yourself. You need all of your mental strength and energy about you. So, do self care, get enough sleep, exercise, eat properly. All of those things should be non negotiable. They are a part of your routine. You know, I know for sure I'm way more focused and confident in my decision making when I've had enough rest, and that goes throughout the day. So if you've been kind of feeling overwhelmed by decision fatigue, it's time to make a change. Use these 5 hacks so you can take back control of your mental energy and lead with confidence and make decisions that align with your values. Thank you so much for joining me today. And let me know which of these you're going to try. Maybe it's one, maybe it's two, maybe it's three, maybe it's all of them. Drop it in the comments and let me know, right? Let me know what you found helpful. And as well, let me know in the comments what topic would you like to see me cover next. I enjoy doing the research and doing the lives on those topics. So definitely, you have a say so here, you have a voice. Go ahead and drop it in the comments and let me know, right? I would love to hear from you. So don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that notification bell for more career tips. Let's work together to help you reclaim your mental clarity and thrive in your leadership role. I will see you at the same time next week. And take care. Bye bye.